Assalamu alaikum.
Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? Alhamdulillah. We just completed our third day of fasting, mashallah. 10% of Ramadan is already gone. Can you believe it? 10%. Um, let's see what someone's saying here in the chat. Wa alaikum salam, mashallah. So, today, for those of you who joined us for the recitation, we finished the third juz of the Quran. We finished Surah Al-Baqarah and we began Surah Ali Imran. So, in regards to some of the verses we read, actually, this verse that I wanted to discuss was from last night or yesterday evening from Surah Al-Baqarah. Since we just finished Surah Al-Baqarah, I thought it's still appropriate to talk about. And actually, it relates to the hadith of today. So, um, the verse is وعسى أن تكرهوا شيئا وهو خير لكم وعسى أن تحبوا شيئا وهو شر لكم. It may be that you don't like something, but it is good for you. And it may be that you like something or love something, but it's not good for you. And Wallahu ya'lamu wa antum la ta'lamun. And Allah knows and you do not know. Meaning, we should always place our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And daughter's trying to join there. Um, we should always place our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever He has taught us to love, we should love. And whatever He has taught us to stay away from and not attach our hearts to, then we should stay away from those things. On that note, I will continue also with another verse that we read today. But before that, let me put the hadith for today up on the screen right now. If I can have Omar put it up here. So here's hadith number 4, everybody. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم mentioned, حبك الشيء يعمي ويصم, or you can say ويصم. Your love for something might render you blind or deaf, or deaf. Meaning you could love something so much to the extent that your love for it will blind you from the truth, from seeing the truth and even listening to the truth, or even seeing reality and hearing reality. You don't want to hear anything bad about this thing that you love. It could be a person, it could be video games, whatever it is. You are so attached to it that you don't want to hear anything. Even if the facts are presented in front of you, your love is blinding you. So we should never let our love get to that extent where you end up being blind from the truth. حُبُّكَ الشَّيْء يُعْمِي وَيُصِمْ. يُعْمِي meaning blind, and yusim meaning it deafens. And this is recorded by Imam Abu Dawood. So you can say, we wrote Abi Dawood because when you say the word an in Arabic, it will render Abu to Abi. So that's why it's Abi Dawood, but really it's Abu Dawood, father of Dawood. So when you narrate this hadith later, when you have memorized it, you can simply say, حُبُّكَ الشَّيْء يُعْمِي وَيُصِمُّ, or you can say, حُبُّكَ الشَّيْء يُعْمِي وَيُصِمُّ. Your love of something might render you blind and deaf. You can also say your love of something may make you blind or deaf. Narrated by Imam Abu Dawood. Omar, if you can just correct that on the screen, just might as well make it Abu Dawood. And then you can take out Sunan. Yeah. Okay. All right. Sunan Abu Dawood, that's the reference to the collection of hadith that Imam Abu Dawood has put together. All his lifetime of finding the authentic hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So more on this point here. Your love of something might render you blind and deaf. So what should we love? Well, we all know we should love Allah and His Messenger, right? first and foremost, before anyone else. We we love our Creator for creating us, for giving us everything we have, including ourselves, our parents, our families, all the goodies that we have, our houses, the knowledge we have, the abilities we have, you name it. We could never count the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we should always love Him the most. And, love, the best way to portray your love to your Creator is by obeying Him. And subhanAllah, He mentions that in the Quran, in Surah Ali Imran, a verse that we read today. قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهِ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهِ. That say, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, if you truly love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then follow me. يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will love you and He will forgive your sins. And verily, Allah is the most gracious, the most merciful. Follow me, meaning the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was told to say, if you, the creation of Allah, the Sahaba, everybody, all the believers, if you truly believe in Allah and you love Him, then follow my way. So, in order to love Allah, we need to follow the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This hadith kind of emphasizes this point from another direction. So, when we love things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not really encouraged us to love, or let's take it even a step back. You love something that is permissible. Let's say it's okay to do. There's nothing really wrong with it. But you love it to such an extent that it takes you away from your obligations. Moreover, it will maybe even take you to such an extent that it will change your beliefs and your actions and your speech. Have you ever seen that happen? Where someone loves somebody or something so much, because of their love for that person or that thing, they change themselves. They're not the same person anymore. Now, this type of love is very dangerous because it can take someone away from the straight path. And even if that person is doing something good, sometimes it can lead to doing that good deed for the wrong reason, for the wrong intention. So be careful with loving things and people to such an extent that your love is blinded to an extent that you cannot even see the truth or hear the truth. You should always be open to hearing the truth. To emphasize on this point again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, and we're going to read this verse not tomorrow but the day after. He says in Surah An-Nisa, يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين بالقسط شهداء لله. O you who have believed, stand as witnesses for Allah with justice, with equity. وَلَوْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَوِ الْوَالِدَيْنِ وَالْأَقْرَبِينَ. Even though it may be against yourself, maybe even against your parents, even those that are related to you, those that are close to you. Meaning sometimes even those that love us, they may do something wrong, but because we love them so much, we will still take their side, even though they were wrong. And that is wrong. That is injustice in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You may be attached to a person, even though they're so close to you, like your parents, your brothers and sisters. Maybe it could just be a best friend. Whatever the case is, you should always be just in the way that you deal with people. This happens a lot, sometimes in families. When you have an argument with someone, you may love someone more, and even though they were wrong, you'll still take their side just because you love them. No, that is not the way of a Muslim. You may get away with injustice here in this life, but Allah will hold you accountable for that injustice later. So there is no such thing as being unjust, not practicing justice for the sake of your love of somebody. This should not happen. This should never happen. So never let your love of something render you blind and deaf. This is a very powerful hadith, and it's a concept that you have to really work on, because we all are going to love someone or something in life a lot. Kids nowadays, they love video games, right? They love them so much that they'll even miss all 5 prayers while playing their games. I remember once when I think it was a PlayStation 3, or I don't think it was 2, maybe 3 or 4. I don't know which one. It came out, and when a new gaming console comes out, there's like a big hype about it, right? So I think the release date was like the following day, and there were people in line, uh, since basically Fajr in the morning. And I remember I saw kids there that were from my own school, and these are practicing brothers. They would always pray 5 times a day and everything. They were standing in line, and I met them. I just happened to walk to the store. It was Target, I think. And I was like, "Hey, Assalamu alaikum, how you guys doing?" "Hey, good, good. What are you guys here for?" "We're waiting in line for the PlayStation." I'm like, "Oh, cool. How long you guys been here?" "Oh, about 8 hours." "Oh, wow." I was like, "Well, did you guys get, I was young, so I just I would ask people if they prayed or not. You shouldn't really do that, but I was young myself, and I would just be kind of blunt sometimes. So I didn't hold back, and I just said, "Hey, did you pray by any chance?" They were like, "No, we missed, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib." I was like, I kind of held myself there, but I went back to the car, and I was really upset. I was like, "You guys just missed 3 salawat, Dhuhr, Asr, and Maghrib, for what? For standing in line for a PlayStation? I mean, you could have got this PlayStation eventually, right? Maybe a month later, maybe a couple weeks later. I don't know how long the wait was, but you wanted it that day, and you wanted it right away as soon as it came. And you ended up missing your salawat for it. So this is an example of how when you love something so much, it blinds you. You were probably thinking about the prayer in your mind, but you were so attached to that gaming console that you missed all your prayers. So this should never happen. You should never love something to such an extent that it takes you away from hearing, seeing the truth, and it takes you away from the obligations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This should never happen. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always direct us in the right direction and keep our love for the things that He loves, the Quran, the Sunnah, and being with those who follow the Quran and Sunnah as well. I'm going to quickly do a recap of all the hadith. So if we can go back to hadith number 1. What was the first hadith, everyone? Ad-Deenun Nasiha. The religion is sincerity, recorded by Imam Muslim. Hadith number 2. Ad-Du'a Mukhul Ibadah. Supplication is the essence of worship. Rawahu Tirmidhi, or narrated by Imam Tirmidhi. Hadith number 3. Al-Mar'u ma'a man ahabba. A person will be with whom he loves. Narrated by Imam Bukhari and Muslim, or muttafaqun alayh. Hadith 4 from today. حُبُّكَ الشَّيْءَ يُعْمِي وَيُصِمُّ. Your love for something can render you blind or deaf. Recorded by Imam Abu Dawood. So these are the 4 hadith. Make sure you have them all down. When you practice them, when you're memorizing them, always review the hadith before, just like I did right now. Review every single one that you have memorized along with the new one, so you don't forget them. You have to do this every day. Remember, we're looking for the Arabic, the meaning, and the narrator. So get these 3 things down for each of the hadith. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it all easy for you. May He accept our fast and our prayers at home and our du'as, our supplications, and may He increase our love for Him, for the Prophet ﷺ, for the deen. May He make us proud to be Muslims and happy to be Muslims. May He allow us to love other Muslims, for the sake of Iman and for the sake of Islam. And, may He make this Ramadan beneficial for us. Inshallah, we'll close with a dua now. I'll do the same dua that I did last night, inshallah. I'll try to repeat it every couple of nights so you can try and memorize or just even understand the du'as, inshallah. Subhanallah wa hamdihi, subhanallah al-azim. اللهم إنا نعوذ برضاك من سخطك وبمعافاتك من عقوبتك وبك منك لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك وصل اللهم على نبينا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه والتابعين. And a quick translation of the dua. Allahumma inna na'udhu biridak min sakhatik. O Allah, O God, we seek refuge in your anger. Allahumma inni na'udhu biridak min sakhatik. We seek refuge in your pleasure from your anger, meaning save us from the deeds that will lead to your anger. وَبِمُعَافَاتِكَ مِنْ عُقُوبَتِكَ, and from your, we seek refuge in your protection from your punishments, lest we do something that leads to a punishment. وَبِكَ مِنْكَ, and we seek refuge in you, from you, in your mercy, from your anger. لَا نُحْصِي ثَنَاءً عَلَيْكَ, we cannot count the blessings on you. You are as you have praised and described yourself. And then we ended with the salutations on Muhammad. We have a question here. We have not received the dua. Yes, I am so sorry. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to do that tonight before I sleep. I'm going to send it to Omar, and Omar will send it to you guys tonight, inshallah. I will do that before I sleep. In fact, I will not leave my laptop until I send you both duas, inshallah. Tonight's dua and the dua from the first two nights too, inshallah. So with that, we'll close. Jazakumullahu khairan, and we'll see you all tomorrow. بإذن الله تعالى والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.